All right, let's talk about something that gets to the very heart of crypto. It's this critical question that, honestly, every single person who owns crypto needs to answer. When you buy a digital coin, who really holds the keys? You might think the answer is simple, but it's not. So let's dig in. Okay, so picture this. You went on an exchange, you clicked buy, you see that balance pop up in your account. It feels good, right? But here's the thing. Does that mean you truly own it? In the same way you own the cash that's physically in your wallet, the answer might actually surprise you. You see, the entire answer to that big question, well, it all boils down to one thing, and one thing only. Who holds the private key? Think of it as the master password to your funds. Is it some company holding it for you, or is it you? Because that single difference changes absolutely everything. So first up, let's talk about the way most of us get started. It's what's called a custodial wallet. This is almost always your starting point when you first buy crypto on one of the big, well-known exchanges. Honestly, the easiest way to wrap your head around this whole concept is to think of it exactly like a traditional bank account. You trust the bank to hold your money safely, right? And you just use a username and a password to log into their system to manage it. It's the same idea. So what is a custodial wallet really? Well, it's a digital wallet where some third party, we're talking about the big exchanges like Coinbase or Binance, holds the actual keys to your crypto for you. They're managing everything in the background. You never even see or touch the real private key. You just get to log into their website or their app. And this right here is the big trade-off. I mean, the pros are obvious. It's super convenient. If you forget your password, no problem. You just click a link, reset it, and you're back in. Easy. But the cons, they're pretty serious. You don't technically have final ownership. You're putting all your trust in that company. You're betting on their security, their finances, even their customer service, all at once. This brings us to a saying you will hear constantly in the crypto world, and for a very, very good reason. Not your keys, not your coins. It's just a powerful, simple reminder that if you're relying on someone else to secure your assets, at the end of the day, you're at their mercy. Okay, so if that's the bank model, what's the alternative for people who want real, true ownership? Well, let's move on to the next level, taking full control with what's called self-custody. Let's go back to our analogy. If a custodial wallet is like a bank account, then a self-custody wallet is like having a personal safe right there in your own home. You and only you have the combination. Nobody can stop you from opening it, but, and this is just as important, nobody can help you if you forget how. The official name for this is a non-custodial wallet, and with this setup, a piece of software or hardware generates your private keys directly on your device, and you become the sole keeper of them. This is what it really means to be your own bank. And this table here really lays out the differences. With self-custody, you get total 100% control and way more privacy. But look at that recovery row. With an exchange, it's easy. With self-custody, if you lose your key, those funds are gone. Forever. The responsibility is completely 100% on you. Now, within self-custody, you've basically got two main flavors. You can think of them like your checking account and your savings account. Hot wallets, like the app MetaMask, are software that's connected to the internet. They're perfect for everyday use. Cold wallets, on the other hand, are physical hardware devices that keep your keys completely offline. That makes them the absolute gold standard for long-term super secure storage, your digital vault. So how do you actually control these non-custodial wallets? This brings us to probably the most critical piece of information in this entire system. We're talking about the master key. I want you to really let this next part sink in. What I'm about to tell you about is, and this is no exaggeration, the most important password you could ever possibly own in your life. It's called a seed phrase, or sometimes you'll hear it called a recovery phrase. It's just a list of 12 or maybe 24 simple, randomly generated words. This little phrase is the master key that can recreate your entire wallet on any new phone or any new hardware device anywhere in the world, just in case your original one gets lost or broken. So here is the most crucial point to understand. This phrase isn't just a password to your money. In the digital world, it effectively is your money. Anyone, anywhere in the world who gets their hands on these words can take your entire balance instantly. And there's no bank to call, no way to get it back. So, you can see, if this phrase is that powerful, then protecting it is everything.
let's finish up with the unbreakable rules for keeping your seed phrase, and by extension, your fortune, safe.
Okay, the do's are all about physical security. First thing, write the words down with a real pen on real paper. If you're talking about serious amounts of money, you can even etch them into a metal plate to make sure they survive a fire or a flood. And finally, you should really consider storing a second copy in a totally different, secure place, like a safe deposit box. Now, the don'ts are maybe even more important because this is how most people lose their money. Never, ever take a screenshot of it or save it in a notes app on your computer that's just asking for malware to find it. Never type it into a random website that's the oldest scam in the book. And most importantly, never share it with anyone. A real support team will never, ever ask you for your seed phrase. And all of that brings us right back to where we started. Now you understand the two models, the convenience of trusting a bank or the absolute control and heavy responsibility of holding your own safe. Look, there's no single right answer here that fits everyone, but the choice? Well, the choice is now yours to make. So who do you trust to hold the key?